So we're just going to get right into it, right? We do have some new people on here tonight. We also have some, patching people that have been on the patches now for also quite a while. But the most important question, which might have even brought you here tonight, that we typically ask people is, have you been patched yet? And it's actually the question that's, I really hope that many of us here today leave remembering that we should actually ask this. Because once you put this patch on, it's going to help you elevate, activate, and regenerate. And that's exactly what we're going to cover, how that all works today. So as you heard in the video, we have a really awesome gentleman behind this technology. And his name is David Schmidt, right? He's the CEO and inventor of X39, and he currently has over 200 patents. He is a scientist and inventor, but most important is he's specializing in age reversing. So what he did is in 2008, he focused his attention on stem cell research, and that's what took him 10 years and $4.5 million before he brought X39 to markets, right? So this is someone who literally dedicated over 10 years of his life to bring the X39 to market because of how he understood the power of getting your stem cells now working and activating again. So again, like we said, the X39 is a patented technology, right? This means that it's gone through rigorous studies. It's gone through a lot of legal work to get approved. And I'm not sure how many people are familiar with a patent, but this is a legal document, and anything you state in here has to have been proven. And the beautiful thing about this is that we are the only company that actually manufactures this technology. And because we have a patent, not even China can get it right. They just get taken out the game. So we want to actually share a little excerpt out of the patent that explains what the patch is actually doing on the body. So as you can see here, there you go. As you can see here, the patch can be worn anywhere on the human body. You can see I'm wearing mine here on my arm. And by wearing the patch, this causes a beneficial effects by providing phototherapy to the human body. As a result of elevating copper peptide, which is what it elevates, this includes the activation of stem cells, which improves your energy, elevates antioxidants, reduces inflammation, manages pain, improves your stamina, elevates collagen production, and also improves your wound healing. These are all things that have been proven and are put in our patents that you can actually go read. So why is this even important, right? Well, stem cells actually make up every organ in your body, and not many people even know that, right? As you age, your stem cells actually start becoming dormant. At 30, you have only about 50% of your stem cells active, but at 60, you have less than 10% of your stem cells active. This is exactly the reason that as we watch the people we care about grow older, their risk of disease and chronic illness and things going wrong dramatically increase because our stem cells make up everything in our body. But they can't keep on repairing and healing the things that are starting to break because as we get older, they start becoming less effective. They stop being active. And that's why X39 is so important because X39 is the only thing that has been shown to activate our dormant stem cells. So how does it actually work? Well, we sometimes, get very funny looks, when we show, oh, you got this little patch here, what is actually going on? But it's actually very simple, right? It's a proprietary form of phototherapy. Now, some people might be familiar with phototherapy, but it's actually something we experience every day. If you walk outside and the sun shines on you, that is a form of phototherapy. If you walk outside and you get in your car and you go, and then you go to something called a red light therapy, that is a form of phototherapy. Okay. This is working the same. But the real magic here, the thing that's patented, is that there's a nanocrystal technology inside here, right? So there's no chemicals, there's no drugs, there's no stimulants going into you. It's a nanocrystal technology. And what it's doing is it's using your body's heat and lights to reflect back onto the skin. And that's what activates the elevation of these peptides that we spoke about, right? So you put the patch on, reflects your body's heat and lights, And that's what actually gets your body to activate. So again, it's non-transdermal and non-invasive. So nothing bad is going into you because that's the biggest thing, even for me to really understand exactly how nanocrystal technology is working, that's great. The most important thing for me is that there's no drugs, chemicals, or stimulants. That was the first thing I asked Greg. I said, if I want to put something on my mom, I need to make sure that this is safe. And there's no drugs, chemicals, or stimulants. So it's safe for everyone. You can be on medication, off medication, young, old, green hair, purple hair, whatever you like. It's going to work and it's going to be non-invasive and not going to hurt you. Now, what are the benefits? Now, we covered a little bit about this with our patent that I read through, but we just want to really reiterate what starts happening. These actually came from the studies we did to get our patent approved. So as you see here, increased strength, right? As we get older, our body's ability to keep strength and keep our muscles start decreasing, right? Things get harder. Picking up things get heavier, even if the thing you're picking up is lighter. Mental clarity, this is a big one. You know, many people are still struggling with brain fog, even since COVID time. And with all the junk and things that are, actually toxic in our lives, that also causes less mental clarity. This helps reduce inflammation, right? Increases your stamina, energy, and vitality, helps improve your sleep. It restores muscle or skeletal conditions. And the best thing, which you can always see on Greg, which is improved skin appearance. Once people stay on the patch for enough time, they start having those glowing effects, right? I don't know. Am I there yet? Maybe. But definitely Greg is there. Anytime you see Greg, I just call him the Mr. Shiny Man from America. And the whole point of X39 is not to just have good skin. It's to help you achieve what we call optimal health, being in a state of complete physical, mental, and social well-being. What this means is all of these benefits take place as a result of elevating this copper peptide. But all of these things that start happening, slowly improving in your body, that's what we are working towards to achieve optimal health. If you have better mental clarity, less inflammation, improvements in your sleep, better energy, all of these things come together and give you optimal health, right? We all want these things to happen, and that's what X39 is doing. It just does it very slowly. Sometimes it's more mental clarity and less energy, but it all starts working. You just got to give it enough time. But we all want to be optimal in our health because that's what's going to allow us to not age or not decline as we age, I should say. Right? Your number of years can go up. I mean, I'm sure we've all met someone who, they you look at them and they say, hey, and you ask them, how old are you? And then they say, I'm 62. And you're like, I thought you were like 89. But it's also been the other way. Where someone says, oh, I'm only like 42, and they look like they are in their 20s, in their 30s. So that's exactly what this is really going to help you to do, is have a young body and a healthy body as you age. So what are the long-term results of X39? So these have actually been studied as we started getting our patent approved and doing all the studies. We had to really see what is happening in the body, right? All these results take place by wearing the patch, but what exactly is happening in the body to cause these results? And this is basically what's happening. So when you first put the patch on, right, within the first few days, about 4,000 genes begin to reset. Right? After about 6 weeks, your brain starts becoming balanced. After about 3 to 6 months, your collagen starts increasing. But within about 6 to 12 months, your heart starts reversing in age. And as you can see here, David Schmidt, the inventor, the CEO of LifeWave, he says it's not anti-aging, it's age reversing. So we actually have studies that have proven that your biological age of your heart starts reversing. This sounds crazy, but welcome to the 21st century, right? Who thought ChatGPT was going to be real? And now everyone's ChatGPT and everything, right? This is a real thing. And luckily, because we don't want to put more drugs in our system, we want to go away from that. Let's live healthier bodies naturally. So how do you wear X39? It's very simple. Wear it for 12 hours so your body can elevate the copper peptide, activate your stem cells, and start regenerating the damage from age. After 12 hours, you take it off so your body can rest, repair, and rejuvenate. I wear mine here. You can wear it anywhere on your body as long as you just wear it for 12 hours and you take it off. I wear mine from 9 a.m. to 9 p.m. And then that's that. Wear one new patch every day. And you typically get a month's supply when you get started, and then you use one new patch every day. That's how simple it is. And the testimonials of X39 are completely emotional and life-changing. Right? I mean, I literally have a person I care so much about, right? My mom. I'm a single child, okay? So if anything happens to my mom, like I'm gonna lose it. And now my mom is actually in a much better place. And obviously, X39 only works if you are living a good life. If you're eating McDonald's every day, what's your body gonna repair with? Plastic. It doesn't work that way. You know, you have to fuel your body with the right things, drink enough water, but then the results start taking place. And now I have my mom back and she's busier than ever. You know, she's going out seeing friends. She has no lack of energy. You know, like she just has so much energy. Sometimes I get home like late at night, you know, to come visit her and then she's not even here yet. You know, and that's because she's out and about still doing her thing. And that's lovely. I love that for her. And she's in her 60s, you know. And I mean, my mom has actually had friends that are the same age of her that have actually passed away to illness and disease. The same age, people that she went to college with. And that's an unfortunate thing is that they didn't get on the technology sooner. And that's exactly why I'm here today. You know, I'm not the one in a wheelchair, sick and broken. I'm here today because we have a message that has to be shared. The healthy have to help the sick. Your doctor isn't the one lying in the bed, you know, saying, hey, you know, can you operate on my heart? The doctor's there, healthy, standing beside you, wanting to help you. That is how it works. The healthy have to help the sick. Right? And hopefully all of us on here are at least healthy enough to listen, but we need to be healthy enough to share. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to share some testimonials. Please don't get overwhelmed by this because we have so many. But what I want to show you is that, you know, something that may look insignificant can have a very significant impact on many people. And we just want to show you how big that impact can be, because maybe it can be for the person you love and you care about. So let's get into it. Here we actually have a live blood analysis of a 65-year-old male, right? This is actually a picture of a live blood analysis before he puts on X39. Now, I'm not sure if we have any doctors on here, but this is actually the presentation I show when I actually partner with some of the doctors. And they're blown away by this because they know what this means. This is signs of clotting, heart attack, stroke. It's very unhealthy blood. All your cells clump together. Doesn't take a rocket scientist to understand that's bad, right? After wearing X39 now for 24 hours, right? I mean, sorry, for 12 hours, but 24 hours later, they did the test again. You can see signs of oxygenated, free-flowing, healthy blood. That's in one day. That's why people's skins are glowing crazy after 2 years. Here you can see day one. This is actually a gentleman that has diabetes. He was actually told that his risk of amputation is so high. As his body is declining, the risk of amputation is so likely that if nothing changes, they might have to do that. Now, 5 days later, after wearing X39, you can actually see a major, major, major difference, as if there isn't any lack of blood flow. Here's also another awesome one. This is Renita Brendan's father, actually. He had a very severe skin condition that they tried many different things, DNA, doctors, and all of these different things, and nothing worked until they tried X39. And as you can see here, this is actually by a doctor that says people using the stem cell patches will experience an immediate effect through elevation of antioxidants and a decrease in inflammation and an increase in energy and joy. That's why some of these results are crazy, you know, within the first few days. Here you can see this is actually one of my friends. She actually bumped her leg on New Year's. And it was just, you know, so bad. She's actually gone through so much, this poor lady. But she's on the mend because of X39. And here, what I love so much, like even if I only had this picture, look where she put X39. You can actually see the bruise healing in circles because of where the X39 was put on. I mean, that is fantastic. You know, does it work? Why is there circles? Right here, we also have, this gentleman had an accident, right? 5 days later, the recovery. 22 days later with the inflammation. Right. He has mobility improvements. Right. Some of the people we care about most aren't living a quality life. Now we have the power to possibly change that. Here we have within 1 to 3 months where physical changes start taking place. Here you can actually see 1 month later, 45 days later, 1 month, right? And again, this isn't a reflection of what can happen exactly for you, obviously disclaimers and all those stories, but I want to show you people's real experiences because their stories deserve to be shared. Here you can actually see 2 months later, after an accident, hair growth. Right? So let's get all the men on these calls because damn, the sun is even brighter when it reflects off your head. Here you can actually see after 2 months, this poor child, she actually cuts her finger off in the door that closed. And the doctors actually didn't want to reattach that fingertip. They said there's no point. And the dad said, nah, listen here. Stem cell activation, my friend. We got something else you don't have here. Reattach the fingertip and let's see what happens. And they did. And after 2 months, the fingertip healed completely. Now, this is a young kid, right? They had no dormant stem cells, they had an abundance. So please don't go chop off your fingertip and see if it comes back properly. Almost 2 months later, right? This is another hair growth. Here you can see also hair color, right? That's also an amazing one. Then you don't have to spray paint gray on your hair anymore. If your color comes back, you don't need to even do that. 3 months later, also, here you can see hair growth, right? Let's keep it moving quick here. So here is actually really, really amazing. I actually had a chance to meet this wonderful lady when I visited America recently, but she had alopecia and condition where your confidence of going out and doing things diminishes because you just don't feel good in your own body. How terrible is that? Some of us, we just get dressed and we leave the house and that's that. But there's so many people that have a condition that stops them or thinks twice before leaving because of how it impacts them. And after 3 months of being on the X39, look at the major difference. Hair growth coming back. Here's also an amazing one. Fractured foot fractures that for over 7 years would not heal. Doctors had given up. And then they started patching with X39. And this is over a year and almost a half. The bones started fusing again. That's the power of collagen increase. Vitiligo, 3 months. This is a skin condition. Bell's palsy, unhappiness. Boom. Imagine in 5 months you can be happy again. Okay, so here, this is actually that lady with the bruises that had the circles, right? This is actually her. She actually, it's tragic. She had actually had a stint where she had cancer. And imagine how much that impacts your life. And, after that, she was in constant pain where she was actually taking morphine every day just to cope. Imagine taking morphine every day just to cope. That's like a drug they give people like when they're close to the end, you know? And because of the patches and the consistency, she's actually stopped all her pain medication. She literally had like a pharmacy in her cupboard at home. And whenever I visit her, she's like, it's just crazy. Like she opens it, she's like, she can't believe that she used to take all of these. Now she's not really taking much medication. And it's because of X39 has changed her life. And here you can see again, 10 months or over 1 year, right? We even have doctors, right? So don't believe me. I'm just some guy on a Zoom. Go look at Dr. Adam Shiner. He's actually a plastic surgeon, right? Dr. Leland Stillman, he's a phototherapy specialist. Dr. Jenna Sullivan. These are all medical professionals that can actually guide you in a much better way and have done a lot more deep dives into X39. They could probably tell you exactly how it's working, but for me, as long as it's not putting something bad into me, I'm happy. I mean, how much rubbish do we eat and we don't even care what's in it and we still put it in our mouth? Plus, there's nothing going into you. You even have athletes, right? Serena Williams, she recently did another video showing that X39 is one of her very prime things that she takes with her when she travels. Michael Phelps, right? So these are other patches that we had, but they are wearing them because it's natural, non-invasive, drug-free. animals. Okay. So there you go. I mean, yo, that was like going on, eh? When is it going to stop showing all these pictures? Well, I'm done now. Right. So if you want to find out more information, you can go to thiscityinfo.com. That's it. You want to find out more about the patents, it's going to be there. You want to find more testimonials because I didn't give you enough here tonight. We have a testimonial section there. If you want to maybe do a deep dive into some of the doctors, we have a medical doctor section. And if you were invited here tonight and you still have questions, I can guarantee you that whatever question you ask that person, they're going to send you back to this website and they will say, if you scroll down 3 times, you'll find your answer under that section. Because that's exactly how we operate. We don't want to give you false things that we just think up. This has been put together over years, right, of professionals that have put this website together for us to answer everyone's question. And now what we want to actually mention is to give you a bit more credibility about this company, right? I told you about the patch. Maybe you're still wondering. Let me just tell you what the patch has done. Since we released the patch into the markets, it has actually taken LifeWave from a multi-million-dollar company to an almost billion-dollar company in 4 years. In 4 years. Imagine you started a company tomorrow and that's what happened. In 4 years, like almost a million. Right. So here you can see in 2021, $20 million. In 2022, 320 million. 2023, 430 million. And that's just in that year, not a cumulative. That's just in that year. 2024, over 600 million. In 2025, we almost hit the billion mark. We were 900 million and something. So close. This year we're going to crack it and like maybe even double it. Right. But that's the power of letting X39 have these results on people. And the thing is, once people start experiencing these results, these numbers are taking place because people are sharing. People are sharing and wanting to help the people they care about. That's why I don't see billboards, right? What are you going to get out of a billboard? This isn't a drug where you now must go read like all the pamphlets with all the nonsense that goes on in your body after you take the pill. This is something that if you don't know the stories, what's the point of even wearing it? Because this is something that you put on and you put on and you wear and you wear and you wear because that's when the results come. And the stories and the testimonials that you hear and you see in the people that are around you, that's what keeps it even more motivating. And that's why we share it. That's why it's done this way. It's also done this way because it's easy. Anyone can get on a Zoom and read these slides. I'm not special. I'm just reading these slides. But these have been put together by professionals, people that have been in the industry for over 20 years, that have all the experience needed to put the right information we need to understand what's happening. LifeWave is currently number one momentum at businessforhome.org, right? This is the number one momentum ranked company, right? It means that it doesn't take work for something to work, right? This is something that is working by itself. Okay, there we go. Right. Last year, we actually won something really, really awesome. The Biotech Breakthrough Award. Now, to just mention, we had thousands of nominations from over 15 different countries throughout the world that applied to get this award, the Biotech Breakthrough Award. And guess what? We won the Stem Cell Innovation of the Year in 2025. Right, so that must tell you something, right? Not Stem Cell Injection Award, Stem Cell Innovation of the Year, right? Something that activates your stem cells naturally. And we have other products that go hand in hand with X39 that give you even better results. But we want to keep it simple. We don't want to overcomplicate it. Just get started with X39 and see what it does for you. So what's important in your life? Because when I got started, what was important for me is my mom. The time I get to spend with my mom. I'm sure we've all had people that we care about that maybe aren't here anymore. We didn't get to spend enough quality time with them. I know I have a few people, right? Security, right? Financial security. How many people are struggling to get through to the end of the month? When I actually got started with LifeWave, I actually had, it says here, less debts. I actually had quite a bit of debts. I think it was like almost $5,000. Now, at my age, I shouldn't have any debts. But sometimes there's more money than money. And that's the reality for many people. And I want to be radically honest with you. I don't want to hold anything back because we want you to actually understand that, these are real situations that we all experience. And when Greg actually shared about it and how it actually opened up my eyes to, you know, the different things that happen in life, right? The different ways that we actually spend our time to earn a living, right? I think, one of the things, let me actually just do this. One of the things that is very prominent in today's world is that we all work for money. We all know what money is. And chances are you're waking up today because you had to work. You had to go do something so that you could put food on the table for the people you care about. And that's the reality. No one is just living life with no money. And if they are, they're not living life. They're just surviving. And that is exactly the type of thing that keeps people in a bad space, right? Because if you just living your life to work and you're working for someone else's dreams, what's the point? Where's the impact? And that actually transitions into what I want to talk about is that LifeWave offers what we call a brand partnership. Okay. And it's not something that's, maybe you've heard of this type of model before, but most important thing here is that it's not just something that you can earn money. It's not just, oh yeah, let's make some money and let's make like 30 grand this week and then move on to the next thing. This is actually something that once you start wearing the X39, you start having your results. You start slowly sharing with the people, right, that you care about and you're seeing their results. LifeWave decided, well, the best way for people to experience the results is to have them stay on it. But we don't want to be the company that just takes money. Take. There's already too many people taking. We want to be the company that gives back. They're actually giving back 60% of all the revenue they collect, they give back to the people that share. 60%. Right? It's worth to share. Right? But above that is the impact. Every single dollar I earn from LifeWave is tied to a life that has been changed. How beautiful is that? Or I could go work and flip pancakes on the weekend and who cares? I just work for money. That's not the legacy I want to leave. And that's what we want to actually share because that's how my eyes got opened up. We have so many different opportunities in today's world. You can go be a yoga instructor. You can go open up a Burger King and be in debt for many years. But how is that is that the life you want to live? Is that the impact that you want to make? Just making people fat? Or maybe you do a yoga studio. And how does that work out? Who's going to teach you how to get clients? Who's going to help you grow your business? Who's going to pay your marketing? Who's going to do your website? Who's going to do all these things for you? So what I want to share with you is how can we make this process of earning money simple, but most importantly, tied to impacts? Because if you're not living a life of impacts, what are you living for? We need to live a life of impacts. And that is what I actually really want to share with you. So how does this actually work? Right? As I mentioned, conventional business, we could have, like I said, you can go start up a Burger King, high risk, long hours, going to work your whole life away trying to get this Burger King up. Same thing with your yoga studio. How's that going to work out? Right? A lot of costs associated, and it's all dependent on yourself. You have to show up at the yoga class to earn money. What happens when you can't show up anymore? What happens with the week that you're sick? What happens with the week that you have to look after your baby? What happens with the week where your car breaks down? You can't earn money. How stable is that actually? Now, let's transition into what a LifeWave brand partnership looks like. Firstly, low startup cost, especially compared to a Burger King, is like nothing. 30-day risk-free trial, right? If you get started and in 30 days you think like, this is not for me, I don't like the products, I don't like the whole community, I don't like anything, you can return your products and you can actually get your money back. The most important thing is that you make your own schedule. We don't ask you to share 2 hours a day every day, and that's it. That's the only way you're going to make money. We help you tie into a duplicatable system so that your efforts that you're putting in once can 10x, 20x, but it's all about putting in and putting in, planting seeds until they materialize. And the best thing is that we have a 20 plus year track record. This is a partnership that is stable over 20 years, and we're going to a billion. So, it's kind of like, how many people are becoming millionaires being a yoga instructor? What's the success rate of that? Here we have something that's low cost. We'll show you exactly how to do it. We have steps to success. And most importantly, once you've planted enough seeds, it doesn't take your own efforts to have a result. The results start multiplying by themselves, that even while people are on Bahamas, they are going to get paid. People are going to be getting paid. And that's exactly what we want to help other people experience. There's more than enough space at the top. And opportunity happens by creating solutions. Current problems that many people are facing, right? The markets are oversaturated with so many different products that are actually not even legitimate, right? This thing's going to help you lose weight. This thing increases collagen. This thing, this thing, this thing. How effective is that? LifeWave has a patented phototherapy technology. No one can beat it. It's the only company to have it. Many people are having financial struggles. How many other people have debts, right? And is what you're doing right now serving you to pay that debt off? Is what you're doing right now helping you to change your life in a positive way, that you're earning more money to do more things? Maybe tie into a duplicatable business model where your efforts duplicates and duplicates and duplicates and multiply. More problems in this happy world is poor health and wellness. How many people, and the stories that just continue about people struggling with their health? So many. I mean, yeah, it's crazy how many people are struggling. But LifeWave is offering the solution for better health and wellness. Amazing. So how does this actually work, right? Well, it's as easy as getting started with placing a few friends and family in our little model with on the left and the right, okay? But most importantly is that we actually have the exact roadmap that you need to take in order to start earning some extras that you can pay for your products, but start putting some back in your pockets. And you can see here, just by doing simple things like putting people left and right, you can earn up to 25 grand a week. Just by start placing people. And what we do is that we help you get set up for success. So if a partnership is something that sounds like, okay, cool, maybe that's something I can try, try the products. If you're happy or you're excited already, you want to partner, like I said, we have the exact steps to help you do that. So within the first 48 hours, we help you achieve what we call a one-star manager. The name doesn't matter. What matters is that we start putting $25 a week in your pocket for 8 weeks. But even more important is by the end of the first week, we actually help you by just putting 2 people on that left and right system. You start earning $50 a week. That's $200 a month, excluding all the other different ways and mechanisms LifeWave has to reward you. And that's just the power of sharing. $200 extra that continuously increases. That's not a bad deal. And another thing here is that we have a mentor matching bonus. We have a system that develops leadership, right? 2 years ago, I never thought I'd be on a Zoom talking about these type of things, right? It's mind-blowing for me to know these things, but I'm so grateful and blessed to know it because I want to share that there's a different way. Let's not all go work and just work for money. Let's go work and make an impact and bring people along with us. And this model allows us to do that. We can bring people in, help your friend, help their friend, because everyone knows someone struggling financially or with their health. And that's why this works. That's why this company is going to over $1 billion, because we all know someone struggling with their health or their wealth. And at this point, you can actually start earning up to $20,000 per person. Right? And these are just numbers, but the efforts, you put the effort in, but these are possible. I mean, I just saw someone's 1099 paper that came through. And I mean, you know what? I mean, when somebody's earning like $200,000 a month, maybe it's Lifeway, maybe it's not, disclaimer there, but that's a bit of a crazy one. People don't even earn that in a year. And some people that we work with on these calls are doing that in a month. And they've only been doing it for 3 years just by sharing and wanting to impact others. So the most important thing is, that was shown just for some of the people that understand these models. At least there you have it. It's this these slides are not made for everyone, but we have to include them so that if you understand it fully, there you have the numbers. But the most important thing is that our system allows you to duplicate your efforts so that you can start doing things like going on Bahamas trips for free and still earn some money. Doesn't that sound brilliant? So at this point, maybe you would like to get started, right? And we would really encourage you to at least take a look at how your options look like to get started. So we have different things here that apply to different people. I don't think it's on the slide right now, but we also have a premium, a preferred customer option, right? But what I want to talk about is options that mean that you can get enough products for you to use and for you to share. Because what's the good of you having results and watching the people you care about sitting there and idle, declining? It's much better when you do this in a group, because as someone experiences something, they can share. Oh, my energy is improving. How about you? Oh, no, my energy is not improving. But hey, you know what? My eyesight is feeling a little bit better. Oh, okay, that's cool. And what about you? Oh, okay, I actually feel like I'm sleeping better. Wow. So once you start sharing amongst people that you care about, you can all at least understand that you're not crazy, but that the patch is working because everyone is having their results. So like I said, I got started on the premium package, right? So you can see the price in here. It's the cheapest price per sleeve, and it actually allows you to start benefiting from the points that accumulate from all the X39s that get sold from you and the people that you share it with, okay? Here we have a core package. Let's just run through that. A core package would be for anyone that decides, okay, cool, I want to get started, and I have maybe 2 other people that I want to get started with right now with me. Maybe the advanced package is you because you and your wife want to try it for 3 months each. That's another option. You can play around with these packages however you want, right? But the premium package is really best bang for your buck. And hey, you know what? Greg actually had a challenge for me. He said, listen, Brendan, if you actually buy this package and every day you try your best to put patches on people, you can come back within a month or two and tell me whether it was not worth it to do that. Because within the first 3 months, not only did I make my money back from this premium package, I actually cleared my debts. So I made my money back plus extra. And that's what the premium pack allows you to do, accelerate the benefits we spoke about. So that's why it's an option here. But hey, if you just want to try the products, go ahead with the core package, or we can also talk to you about what we call a preferred customer. But most important is that once you get started, you want to stay consistent. And the way you stay consistent is by getting this delivered to your doorstep every month. Every month, my X39 come in. I actually have like sometimes 5 of them delivered at a time, because I have a few people that I love that are on it. But you can at least get started with one sleeve. It allows you to keep your points and earn at least 4 ways in how we reward people. But the 2-sleeve subscription allows you to keep your points, earn all the ways Lifeway will reward you, and it's enough product for you and your wife or you and your friend to continue. So if you have any more questions, right, we're about to wrap it up here. Any more questions on the products, you can go to thisitinfo.com. If you have any more questions about how you can duplicate your efforts, how you can actually be partnered with in an opportunity that allows you to, one, be around really awesome people. I mean, imagine you got to talk to me every now and then. I'm joking, but you know what is cool? I get to talk to Greg every now and then, and he is doing so good. I get to talk to men. I get to surround myself with people that are winning in life. How many winners in life are you surrounding yourself with? We want to open it up to everyone. And this team is going to allow you to do that. So if you want to find out more about how a system works, how you can duplicate your efforts, go to thisiteam.com. So the time is now to make your move, right? Because if you are serious about your dream, X39 could be the hope for your future that you've been praying for, that you've been hoping for. It's just about getting it done. So let's get it done together. There we go. Thank you so much, everyone. At least we have almost 10 minutes so that you guys can go to the bathroom, go have coffee, and get ready for your next episode on Netflix. But I really appreciate everyone taking the time to obviously listen. And, the most important thing is to just think about the people you care about. Because, the one thing that's guaranteed is we're all going to get older. That's the one thing that's guaranteed. That and taxes. So, at least with the one thing we can make an impact and change. You can't change how much tax you're going to pay, but you can change how your quality of life is going to develop. And please just make a decision that benefits yourself in 10 years, not just what feels, I will spend money today because my bank account is a bit low. Think of yourself in 10 years. Think about your kids. Think about the people you care about. Where are you all going to be in 10 years? You want to be old and wrinkly with more gray that you're spraying in? Or do you want to be nice and shiny and going to the Bahamas? So I also want to be going to the Bahamas. So let's all go to the Bahamas together. So anyway, everyone, I'm going to end it there. If you have any questions, maybe just type it in the chat quickly. But as it stands, I'm going to wrap it up. I just want to say thank you so much again for coming. You guys must have such an awesome week. It's only Monday. We have so much time to change the world in 1 week. Just depends on how badly you want it. And that's it. I have to now drink some water because. So thanks everyone. Appreciate you and just really, really have a great week. Thank you.